Ready to go?
I'm ready.
Online. Please call the roll.
Okay, so Chris Pulliam,
Here.
Annie Perrine, or just Perrine?
Perrine, she's here.
Alderman Harder.
Here.
Lindsay Spencer.
Here.
Bridget Berger.
Here.
Christine Maida.
Here.
Alderwoman Tice.
Here.
And then Andy Burkins.
Here.
Everyone.
Thank you. Approval, can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting?
I make a motion to.
I'm sorry, sorry, yes. Thank you.
Do a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Agenda's approved. The citizens, chairperson report, one thing I had was, I did get an email from, I'm blanking on his name, he's our arborist at the city. He reached out asking about, basic person was contacts with the schools, to see about doing a tree planting event for Arbor Day, on or around Arbor Day, this coming. So we sent an email after introduction email. I just basically grabbed all the emails of the superintendents, of 4 schools and sent it out, but that was like Friday afternoon before spring break, so.
So I put that date on.
Oh, nice.
I took your email and forwarded it on to Dr. Zelinsky, and it's Ben Seeley. Is your guy.
Yeah, yes.
And she said she's gonna put on the admin calendar to make sure they follow up. She loves this idea, so she will take that back and make sure that she wants all that since they got that.
Yeah, so everyone's been on spring break since then. So when I checked it last week, he hadn't heard anything, but I'm sure that was why. I'll just check that out. So that'll be cool, and I'll let everyone know, I guess, what comes of that, and so they will be invited to whatever it is, whatever we do end up scheduling, we'll get that together. I hope we can keep that going with more, school activities like that.
When is our day?
Isn't it usually like 24?
It's
Pretty much,
Yeah.
it's like part of Earth Month.
April 25th.
Yeah.
Is it 24th or 25th?
24th, and birthday is. 22nd.
So late April. That's all I have. Any other committee member reports?
I presented, there's a unity committee at the high school, and they wanted me to come talk about being on the school board, but I also talked about being on the sustainability commission. And the librarian, Mrs. Wilson, was going to also let whoever is a lead person for the learning team, I think my name is Slaves and the science teacher, let her know about this, and if the students wanted to ever come, nobody on tonight, but if they wanted to come and have public comment or to see what we need to do. I also mentioned that we have talked about, and I very briefly, we had a student from Brentwood, maybe for like 4 months. We talked about it. I feel like
It was a thing where it was about this time of year that just came and then it was finished out. And then
so we may want to think about that. For instance, we wanted a student voice on her.
Is there a student committee, is it like a green team, or is there a student committee where like the president of that would
Be
part of
the
their
responsibility
responsibility to
that
the
too,
liaison
yeah.
once a year?
I think that's a great idea. I know the committee is a middle school, high school, and I don't know if they've got elected.
That's what I was wondering, if they have a board,
Mhm.
and then if a position on that board would be liaison to the city's sustainability.
And that would look good if it's a senior for coverage.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And it would add, it would make it consistent.
Yes, like there is some rolling over, we knew who the next person would be. But they also just loved the fact that there are citizen committees that our citizens participate on so many of our city committees. So there might be some more reaching out between the city and the school district in that.
Nice. Yeah, and I had made a similar plug in the introductory email, like saying, hey, and by the way, we're on the Sustainability Commission, and so we always welcome student ideas or input or whatever else, and so maybe create some meeting. I think we've seen it initially at least. That was your research.
She was like a grad student.
How your voice?
We're actually appointed in that, but
See you in that.
it was like, oh, this was joint team. Anyone else? Anything else to report?
Not a report, but when I was home over the holiday break, my parents said that their community sustainability board gave out like water rain collection barrels. And I know we had previously done the composters, and then we had the grant last year that we would do paint with. And I thought that would be like a good idea to just store in our back pocket if opportunities come up again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's something we can include. I guess timing wise, we can put it, because really the grant is kind of like ongoing as long as they have funds available. So if we wanted to talk about that, we could always, and it shows to move forward. I think there's not really times during the year where we have to apply by. So if we wanted to talk more about that, maybe with Eric and see if that's something we thought was worthwhile in doing.
Yeah, I want to say MSD. I mean, that's like their stormwater. That's their thing. They used to always have grant funding available for that.
There was a way to get them. You just had to, and I don't remember if it was from MSD or the Botanical Garden or something.
Yeah.
They're expensive, so if there was a way to make it less expensive,
Yeah.
that'd be great. And my parents are not sustainability champions yet, so they
It's there.
they love it, so.
Yeah.
It's nice for gardening. So it's for me. I've got both the compost and the water thing, and for me, water I like regularly use.
Yeah.
Like for watering plants and stuff, and compost sure is I don't know, it's just harder to.
Might fill it too fast.
Yeah, it just takes a while. Like it's just you fill it up and it's like.
Today, after compost, like water's the middle of ground.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I know, good suggestion. I like that idea. Anyone else? Spring break stories to report. All right, staff report.
So I'll do my best to summarize. Yeah, I know Alderman Tice has a couple things. So the first thing is that staff presented the sustainability dashboard from KLA to the Public Works Committee at the March 12th meeting. There was a lot of questions regarding like pricing, the initial cost, the continuing cost, and they voted not to move forward on that.
Well, they didn't get it failed to move forward for like a second. It's just
Yes.
so.
Yes.
And I wasn't either,
So in terms of like next steps for that, it would include like if the commission itself decided that this dashboard is something that we really want to champion, then we have to bring it back to Public Works, and we hope that we could kind of figure out who would be able to support it with a second.
Well, I'll jump in. So I wasn't there and I was concerned about this. And it didn't get a second. And I would happily bring it back, or I also think you probably have to help me with the details, but I also think you can bypass Public Works and take it straight to the board, because I'm not sure it would get it has to get, like I said, it has to have 3 votes to get out. And I'm not sure that it could put that even if I was there. I think it would only get 2. And so, but my argument on this is that this is like we put money aside in our budget for the Sustainability Commission, and this group of citizens all unanimously voted that we should spend our money on our budget money on this, and it's been one of the priorities of this commission since it's been around. So I would argue that if this is something that everybody here really wants, I would happily make the argument. But I guess the discussion here needs to be: is this something that you want me to really go and push for, or are there other things that you'd rather spend money on?
Eric did say he's waiting for more information from KLA regarding like community benefits, return on investment, like benchmarking types of things. So he doesn't have that yet, but once he gets that could kind of help if we do decide we want to move forward. There was also opportunity for members of the commission to come to the meeting and speak during citizen comment on your guys' support of this project if we decide to move forward with it. So So, you know, I think it kind of needs to be a little bit more like committee driven, that this is something that our committee made up of citizens feel strongly about. In, you know, as opposed to being staff driven.
And I think the argument it didn't come up because it didn't have to, because due date second was, well, money's gonna be tight soon, and this would be the first thing we cut. And I'm like, well, it's not tight yet, we have the money set aside.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess the question here is this something you wanna push, or would you rather have 40 goats come next year? And
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Is that an option? Get support for that.
I mean, yeah, ultimately, we will find ways for sustainability to utilize those funds. It's just a question of where do we want our priorities to lie. I don't necessarily, you know, you guys, we can take the month and think it over, and if you wanna really consider the options and come back at our April meeting and, you know, or if you guys feel strongly now and wanna continue moving forward. Again, we're looking for this to be a little bit more committee driven.
Remind me of the dollar amounts.
it was 14.5
As start, and I think it was around 9 or 10
95
for continuous on,
Yeah.
like yearly after
So it's
that.
like half our budget. I talked to Michelle Alter
Go.
just earlier today about something else, and I was like, oh, I have to run to the sustainability commission meeting. She's like, oh, about that. And then she was like, it was the budget thing. She's like, that's 75% of your budget and 50%, which I understand, but my other thought in my head, and I did kind of say, we really could never spend any money. So this is like our first big ask.
Like our
That was mentioned too, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
our big, I would say our biggest lift for the committee up to this point is like the Green City Challenge, and that's less than $1,000 a year.
Yeah, so in retrospect, I wish we'd have been trying some different things to show that we've been utilizing our budget, which we just haven't. It hasn't, we've been able to do so much using staff time.
Yes.
We have extra time a ton. But that's, I mean, I that's one kind of perspective I have, is that we really haven't asked to spend a lot of money, and because if we have at more time, this is something that would help you tremendously in terms of keeping things updated, and if we can show that, maybe this is what Eric can find, that there's a lot of value in the communication tool piece to get our message out. You know, the money that we have in our budget, it's $20,000. It's not going to dramatically change the climate impact of Brentwood, but maybe changing people's activities using this tool through communication would be an effective use of that money. But I mean, I'm happy to think about it. I just had this conversation with her an hour ago, so you can still process it.
Yeah, I probably won't go to the meeting because it's pretty paternalism view of what they're saying, to tell us that we have unanimous decision to spend this money. And then they're saying, well, we don't really, I mean, that's very. Yeah, it's not gonna go. You can't spend your allowance on that. It was unanimous, we all said, yeah, we wanna do it, we know the one-time cost is gonna be this, and it's gonna be 3/4 of our budget maybe, but then the next year's gonna be half the budget. That sounds like a really damn good deal. You know, that still leaves us 10 grand to spend, so, yeah, I won't.
I was gonna say, I would happily prepare comments.
I'll speak on behalf of the group, for Chris.
I missed last month's meeting where we talked over this year's priorities. Was there any other like big goals where we could say we have plans to spend budget, or was it centered around this data collection activity with the dashboard?
It's a great question, and I don't.
It was pretty widespread.
I don't remember there being significant focus on budgetary usage.
Sure.
It's like a list of things for, like a lot of us wanted a list of things for use of volunteer hour activity. Remember that?
I think we were, yeah, I think, and that's probably because in years past, as we've gone through the priorities list, we haven't really even considered any big ticket items like this, so probably like when we're talking to our priorities list, didn't even come to our minds.
I mean, we have used grant money, I'm thinking of the compost bins, we really utilized.
Yes, exactly.
So in fact, we've saved a lot of money. I mean, for the paint recycling, is that coming out of the sustainability mission now?
No, that, I'll talk about that, that's ideally being funded completely by the St. Louis County grant.
So I guess, yeah, one of the questions too is like, what's our alternative, you know, to
Spend that money
check
if we
these
don't.
boxes, you know, to
If
meet
we
these
don't-
goals.
If we
we're
choose not to.
selling it, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, if we choose not to move forward with this or push for this, how do we plan to spend those funds? That's a great question.
Well, and how do we achieve these
Goals.
that this would be achieved, you know, like how do we still,
Without the
yeah.
tool or
I mean,
the.
we can't, I don't, building a site like this ourselves is probably not
It's not
an option.
I can't do it.
Like the amount of time that you would spend writing it.
Oh my God, it's more than $14,000 worth of your time.
Time I literally don't have. Yeah, so I think from what I'm hearing today, I think it sounds like everyone needs to take some time to really maybe look at our priorities list that we worked on last month. And just consider it, and then we come together next month with a decision about how we wanna move forward.
Well, that would give Eric time to get.
Hopefully answers from
feedback
KLA, yeah.
and sales pitch stuff from KLA, which surely they.
But yeah, so let's take the next month, really think about it. And then we'll make a decision how we wanna move forward after discussion, hopefully some more information from KLA that will aid us in our discussion and then decision making next month. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, sustainability toolkits. So staff is finalizing the toolkit information for that we'll place on our existing sustainability page. And they're also developing a video to help them to explain how it works and all that, the audit toolkit. We are interested in, if anyone's interested in being like part of the video by like participating in demonstration or anything like that, we would love to have you. Just reach out to Eric. I think again, staff can do a lot, but I think it means more to the public if they're seeing their neighbors in these videos. So if you've got a little extra time and you're willing to be a part of that, or I don't know if there's opportunity for like kids want to be involved. I don't know exactly what the script looks like, but it could be a fun opportunity, and I'm sure it won't take up too much of your time.
How many tools are there, and like everyone on Suscom like do something and sort of like
question.
push the visibility so we can then, it's another tool as we try to spend money.
Right. Showing we're responsible. I haven't seen a draft yet, so I'm not 100% sure. So that's a great question.
So are we doing the separate video for there's two different types of toolkits, right? There's the like adult focused one, and then there's the kid focused one. They're gonna be two separate.
Sounds right.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would, if you think this sounds interesting, reach out to Eric. I'm sure he can give you some more details on that, and then he'll also let you know kind of when they're looking for it. He said that his staff has been voluntold that they will be participating in that, but I think it would be fun.
Maybe the Sustainability Commission member should be voluntold.
Yeah. Hold on to that, because I think voluntold do something for us.
I did see that. I would be happy to help out.
Okay,
If you wanna just let him know,
Yeah.
he can send it to the whole sustainability commission.
Yeah, does he have the draft script? Yes.
I haven't seen it, so I'm not sure.
Depends on the part, you know.
There are no school parts, there's
Electricity are always the most important.
You don't want the electricity.
Okay, I'll let him know to send the info to everyone, and then you can respond back if you're interested. Okay, next up, we have the Sustainable Sites Incentive. Public Works did approve the commission's recommendation to have to work with SWT on a sustainable sites designation for Mount Calvary Park. So that's cool.
So that must have been a thing from the last meeting.
Yeah.
I failed to refer, like, update myself on what happened, but so what is the SWT? Like, what is the sustainability sites thing?
Well, I can talk all about Mount Calvary Park. So Mount Calvary Park's the 4 acres that we bought behind Mount Calvary Church. And they did the design sort of with sustainability in mind, and there's a sustainable sites initiative, so you get a designation that it's sustainable, and it's certainly you have to do, and I think most of those things we would do anyway, and I think there's platinum, gold, and bronze, and I think it's sort of designed already that we
Well, a good level.
that we can get gold, and so it's just a matter of incorporating that into the design specs as they.
So it's not, there's not really anything that we as the commission need to do or anything, it's kind of, like she said, we sort of do a lot of that stuff already, it's just like doing the documentation and all of that.
It's SWT, the design.
They're the design, and they also design the destination.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
And it's kind of like.
There's water runoff, they can engineer.
Yeah.
Do you have questions?
Did Brentwood Park do that too, or is this like did we just put
I think it started the sustainable sites. Yeah,
I think so.
Well,
Well, I think there was a lot, but we had so much going on with Brentwood Park that I think
Right.
it was more than.
it was like a low priority in terms of, but
Just like buying stuff.
yeah. So we will be working on that to make Mount Calvary Park a sustainable site. Speaking of leveling up, Charging Smart is back. So that's exciting. No word on Soul Smart, but I'm like, why would they start Charging Smart and not
That's
Soul
kind of
Smart?
interesting.
So, we will look, they have, park staff already scheduled a meeting with, their representative of Charging Smart to kind of restart the process, see where we're at, what we need to do for next steps. So hopefully next month Eric will be able to tell us kind of where we're at, what sort of things we need to do to kind of get that designation, because I don't think we had received any designation from Charging Smart yet. We were just starting that process. So restarting, seeing how we can get to the different levels. So stay tuned for that. And then switch together. So the city of Webster Groves contacted Eric and I, mostly Eric, to explore a possible partnership between the cities and the Missouri Botanical Gardens on a new solar initiative called Switch Together. I guess in past years, the Botanical Gardens and Midwest Renewable Energy have collaborated on their Grow Solar program. And so they've updated the program, changed the name to Switch Together, still operated through the Missouri Botanical Gardens. And so we're gonna work to schedule a meeting with them to kind of get the lay of the land on that and figure out what we need to do to kind of get that going. So we should have an update for you at the next meeting. You think?
Clear, I guess at this point, what the
criteria looks like, yeah, no, so we'll know more. That person just emailed us, I think, last week, so still very new, like I said, we haven't even really talked to them. So we'll hopefully have a little more detail next meeting.
Thank you for that. Any other discussion on those items? We'll move on. So it's kind of a.
Motion to approve.
Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Well, yeah. Consent agenda is approved. Whole business.
That's- So this is where that voluntold thing comes in. So I have been communicating with the kind of point person for the St. Louis County Public Health grants that we are hoping to get to fund our various recycling events throughout the year. One thing that they do require is that you have a staff person or city representative on site during the event to verify county residency. Not just Brentwood residency, they just need to be a county resident. They have like an app, or I guess you can use your phone or something, where you just click next to the zip code that they're coming from, and that verifies that they're a county resident. With that being said, our next two events are paper shredding on May 2nd and electronics recycling on May 9th. So I would love if we could have any volunteers to staff all of our events coming up. I do plan to be at least the first paint recycling event, which is June 6th, just because we've never done one before. I can probably also be at the December 5th one. But specifically the May 2nd and May 9th events, that is the week before and then my wedding day. So
Really?
I need.
So pick one.
I mean, if I have to pick one May 9th, it's not it. But I would appreciate if I could at least have volunteers for the 2 May events. If anyone knows that they have availability for any of the other events, that would be great. We can talk about that as those dates get closer. On our application, I have just said that members of the Sustainability Commission will be present at the event. That could be me, that could be Eric, that could be Octavia. It could also be any of you. If we feel like we want to split the event times, so like 2 hours for 2 hours, I'm fine with that.
What are the hours?
So electronics recycling, hold on, let me pull it up because I always get them mixed up. Let me pull up the calendar.
So 9 to noon.
Well, one of them is 9 to noon.
Electronics, I think is 8 to noon.
I think so too.
Paper is 9.
9 to 2.
And then I think we're gonna do, I think I said we were gonna do 8 to noon for paint as well.
Okay.
But like I said, I'll handle at least the first paint
What
event.
was paper? 9.
I just have to check my granddaughter's 8th grade graduation.
Yeah, so paper is 9 to noon and electronics is 8 to noon. So just starting, if I can get anyone to commit to May 2nd and May 9th for a couple people, I would really appreciate it. And then we can kind of, again, as dates grow closer for the other events, go through and see who is available. Now I'm realizing I also will be available for the August 8th event.
I think probably do August. I have a maybe on the 2nd, but I don't want to.
Right, I get to go home and check my.
Okay, so yeah,
Check tomorrow.
So those 3 specifically, May 2nd, May 9th, and August 8th, if you could look at those and find potential. If anyone's available, I would appreciate it.
What was August 8th? Which one?
August 8th is electronics, so is May 9th, and then May 2nd is paper shredding. And all the dates for our events are in the, so you could just email me, or you can let me know at the next commission meeting.
I can do one of those in May, but sure, I'll just double check today.
Okay. So, I mean, pencil you in for the 9th, and if I can pencil you in for the 2nd, if something changes. And then if you look
You
at
can
the August one.
the August 8th.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then,
You can pencil me in, I'll do May 2nd and May 9th, so I'll do those.
do you think 2 people, or do you guys want to do a split shift, 2 hours and 2 hours, 3 hours and 2 hours? Okay, I'll do that. Do you have a preference, earlier or later?
8 to noon and 10 to noon works better for me.
That's fine.
So could you do it before that? Okay, great. And then, do you wanna split it with her for the May 2nd one?
May 2nd, do you have a preference?
I always do it.
Okay, so I can put you on the first shift and I'll put you on the second shift.
So I'll do 10:30 to 12.
Okay,
And if we need to change.
and again, we've got another commission meeting before this, but I'm submitting our applications tomorrow. Because we want them cleared in time to take it to the board and get that approved before the May 2nd event, which our person basically was like, yeah, you're gonna be approved, it's fine. But timeline wise, we have to go to Public Works and then we have to go to board, so we're just trying to get this all in. So I will get that schedule and just set myself reminders to remind everyone at the next commission meeting, because that'll be right before the event. I really appreciate your help.
Is it a new, we always have people there, or is that like a?
No,
Okay.
and that's what I
I think
asked,
so.
I said, we've been doing the
Yeah.
electronics and paper shredding events for so long that they just run very smoothly. It's because we have to have the county verification.
Oh, because we didn't get money for these before.
Correct.
We use money for
okay.
different things.
The city was paying for it. So that said, we have always advertised it as like open to anybody. We are gonna have to change that and just say it's open to county residents, which is still
Right.
anybody can come.
So when they pull up, you're
gonna ask
their
them
ID
their
and it's
license.
a zip code and you just
Then
punch in
push
and go, okay.
And I think I think our like my contact is going to be present, at least at the very first one, to kind of show people how it works. But she sent me the link and it's just got all of them listed and you just click the button next to it. And so I'll clarify that with her and make sure that we are clear kind of to who's going to do that, but.
So if somebody comes and they're not a county resident, can we have some resources that we can provide?
Yeah, and I've also been looking into it, see if they can drop off, but they just pay.
Like some way to help them.
Yeah.
If they've brought things to our event, so they can.
Like I'm gonna look into if there's an option for them to drop off, but they just have to pay a fee or something like that, so I will look into that.
And isn't paint, aren't we doing that for Brentwood residents? Aren't we subsidizing Brentwood residents?
Yes, so paint is,
It's gonna be more, a little more complicated.
and that's again why I plan to be at least at the very first one to kind of work through the kinks on that one. I think we're gonna advertise it to Brentwood residents. But again, and so ideally, anyone who comes in is gonna have the 63144 zip code, and we'll just still put it in. But then if a county resident comes in and technically we won't have to turn them away. And I told her our plan to subsidize 25 pounds for the first 100 cars, and she was like, they'll help track, they obviously track it for us, and so if like it looks like we're not quite to that threshold, then we'll go first 105 cars or whatever like that, so. But I had to like I had to add in the traffic pattern, so I just said people would come in that the back entrance, which is near facing body, and then come down and then exit onto Brentwood by the front entrance closer to Walgreens. So that's just the plan that I have in place. I think that'll flow fine, so I think that's already kind of how they flow. The only tricky part is sometimes they park in the Walgreens parking lot. I'm gonna need to figure that out, but my main goal is to get the applications in. She's been really great to work with. Once they're submitted, she'll help me. But okay, so we had Lindsay, you were the second, right? Lindsay and Chris were the second. So what I'll try to do is have all of that info and powwow before we leave the next committee meeting, and I'll give you all the information I have.
Paper straight guys, cool.
Well, what if it's Brentwood residents?
Always.
It depends on, the every other time, so he lives over on St. Clair.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I need to start saving my, I should be shredding some things, yeah.
Yeah, I just have it at the back of the drawer and then
Yeah.
when I have enough.
That's a great idea, yeah, this is a good reminder for me.
Okay, so much fun.
Thank you. All that information, it's all there.
Well, then who's graduating?
So, so that was my only one. Ideally, if we can make this happen, then the city won't have to pay for any of it.
That's amazing.
That'll be
The money we're saving.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that is why I did it. That's all I've got.
Cool. Well, thanks everyone for volunteering, and
Yes,
yeah,
you
let us
are
know.
seriously helping me out.
As we get to the next one, past like in the next meeting, when we get coming up on the next.
Yeah, we'll
we
do
can
it again and
Yeah, I've got August on my head.
And I will say the goal ultimately is to kind of each year renew this, reapply for this grant. And so, this is probably something we'll need volunteers for each year in the future.
Do we have any of those sustainability commission shirts?
Yes, actually, I do have some left. Yeah, but everyone here has them, right?
I don't remember.
I guess we all did get them.
Should have them, but if you don't, I've got extra in my office. Those would be great for you.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, good deal. Any other, I guess there's no other old business, any new business?
So so the library is gonna move, right? Get some.
Yes.
So one of the things I was thinking about is they're gonna have to move all those books. And it'd really be cool to have a chain gang, basically.
They're doing that.
Are they gonna do it? And they're gonna cross Brentwood, so they're gonna do it like on a Sunday or something?
Yeah, they have.
That'd be great, that's how to get some community.
Enjoying the Brentwood chain.
That's the communications person. Donna, don't love the
It's for just a very short time and it's just more symbolic.
Yeah.
And they'll move the
Oh.
thing.
Oh, they're not gonna move them all?
No,
Oh, I think they should do it all.
okay.
Cause they go straight, have you seen, have these people do this? They did, I saw somebody did it, they moved a bookstore in New York.
Is it shutting down Brentwood Boulevard?
Yeah, oh, Sunday, shut it down.
I'd say Sundays probably one of our higher traffic.
Well, there's ways to get around. I mean, I don't, if.
You gotta build that bridge first.
You got
Yeah, that's the bridge.
So you're in children. I mean, that's how you get this done.
Let me find out what
Okay.
next week they're doing, besides that.
Cause I mean, all the way to children, you know,
I mean, you're moving, so you're going from shelf onto shelf. No boxing, no putting it into.
Yeah, see, that's the issue.
Yeah, Brentwood Boulevard is county road, it's not ours.
Your state.
Yeah.
Just like a parade to stop for this to.
Imagine for state, that's not.
I've got a fence. And it's, you know, it's not.
There you
It
go.
will stop.
It's like having.
You can lay out.
Just having children across the street, you know, nobody's gonna run into a child. But the kids passing the books in the street. Yeah.
Or overnight, I don't know, make it a marathon.
A midnight,
Yeah. I don't know, let me find out where that's going.
Can you ask all of these questions?
Yeah.
Starting with all getting changed, right?
So the county maintains it?
Yeah.
We don't pay for any of the.
No, and like even the stoplights actually hassle.
Yep.
We
When
can't,
at times you can't.
Yeah.
Hanley's the same way in Manchester State.
Yeah.
McKnight, we only own half of it.
Yeah.
You know.
The West County.
Yep.
They said,
Yeah, Haley really do that too.
it's true.
So.
But we don't do anything, that's county.
Oh, well, yeah, that's, you know, you're right.
I think it's cool.
Okay.
Just tell them we're trying to do a chain gang.
Yeah.
All the children. Rather than not get it. I like it. Anyone else? New business? All right. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Meeting is adjourned.
This leads me to believe that it's Eric who makes our meetings now. Well, the data does show. Also, I'm just saying, based on my research today.
Appreciate it.
After putting Bridget. Yeah.
You know, even if it's coming up, it's, they have an extra person out there.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, and I'm sorry, this is what I was, so, and then I'm realizing, I'm like, I never texted you that. So it was about this, cause I